Right then, welcome back to the channel. Another massive must-win game for Manchester United, and it's away, which is a worry, isn't it? It's one United should be capable of winning, and especially as we're starting to get a little bit of our team back together and starting to be able to put out a starting 11 that actually looks something like what a Manchester United starting 11 looks like. Bournemouth are currently in 14th, and they are safe from relegation. The highest they can finish is 11th, the lowest they can finish is 16th. They are a bottom half side. They don't really have anything to play for, but that's dangerous mentality going into this, because that nothing to play for brings freedom. And the freedom can sometimes allow a team to take risks because they're not worried about the consequences, and that risk-taking can lead to scoring goals. So you can't take teams lightly that have supposedly got nothing to play for, because they've also got nothing to lose. So United on the other hand have got top four and even third spot to try and close in on. You've got to secure top four. There's no ifs and buts about it. It will not be a good season if we don't do that. Liverpool are hot on our heels. Obviously, you cannot discount what's going on with Newcastle as well. Both of those teams could finish above United if we drop the ball. But it is in our hands to make sure we do it. So we just got to go out there and do it. If we lose to Bournemouth, Liverpool will only be a point behind us with 2 games to go, and it will be poker face time. So just go get the 3 points and stop fucking about. A win could mean Newcastle have to go and do the same to stay above us in third place. Bournemouth's recent record is pretty mixed, losing 3 and winning 3 of their last 6 games. Actually somehow managed to lose to Lampard's Chelsea, so I'm confident going into this one because Chelsea are shit. We did beat them 3-0 in January at Old Trafford in what was probably our best spell this season, or in the heart of what was our best spell. Now, in their last 3 league games and for much of the season, they've lined up in a 4-2-3-1. They play quite a high-pressing, attacking style of football under Gary O'Neill, and they look to try and win the ball back nice and high up the pitch, and then try and limit how many touches and passes it takes for them to try and get into the final third. They have a really strong emphasis on possession and creativity, and they look to create chances through movement off the ball as well as quick passing. Under O'Neill, they have been more direct in their attacking play, and they've used pace to get in behind opposition defence. And they've been a little bit more clinical in goal as well. And they've also been a bit more solid defensively. They kept more clean sheets in contrast to the Scott Parker days, obviously. He's also instilled what seems to be quite a strong team spirit at Bournemouth as well. The players seem to respond well to his management style, and I think he's done a really good job with what is, on paper at least, a pretty average-looking side. So I think they've mission accomplished for them this season. Stay up, and not even really been in that much of a relegation fight. Just stay up, job's a good one, build on that, and see if they can maintain the sort of consistency which saw them be a Premier League team for a number of years after they first came up a few years back. Now, it is likely against United, however, that they might go to a more reserved kind of fashion, possibly trying to invite pressure from United and possibly looking to play off the back foot a little bit and hit us on a counter. Solanke and Billing are a massive threat. Both of them on 7 goals this season. Solanke also has 7 assists. And starting 11-wise, I imagine it'll be 4-2-3-1 regardless, but it should look a little bit something like this. The star man for them, the danger man, is Solanke. As we said, 7 goals, 7 assists. He's been a real strong presence for them in the air, won a number of aerial duels, and is a big threat from set pieces. He's also been really good at holding the ball up and allowing others to come into play. He links up really well with his teammates, created a number of chances, and his link up with Billing has been pretty notable, actually. He scored 30 goals last season in the Championship. Many asked questions if he could do the same in the Premier League. Obviously hasn't hit 30, but he's had a big hand in keeping Bournemouth up, I would say. Bit of a confidence player. When he's in the mood, he's got really good dribbling, solid level of shooting, and can attack from an array of different areas and sort of situations. You'd hope Varane and Lindelof should have enough to deal with him, but he can cause centre-halves trouble if they have an off day. Start 11 for United. Much as we've seen recently, I think if I'm Erik ten Hag, I'm trying to get the job done, but I'm also having one eye on that FA Cup final. What could we do in a game that's going to help us prepare for Manchester City whilst also getting the 3 points. And there's not really many opportunities for this here because Bournemouth are going to let you have the ball. They're not going to be very high up the pitch, so it's not really a suitable game to really test out any sort of theories and tactics for the City game. That being said, De Gea in net, Wan-Bissaka, Shaw, Varane, Lindelof as a back four. I think Casemiro, Eriksen, Bruno as that midfield triangle. I think Anthony on the right. Marcus, despite having a last-minute scare, he trained all week, but supposedly was reported ill today. He could be an iffy one. I think it might be too soon for Garnacho, so I would imagine Garnacho gets limited to minutes off the bench again, despite being impressive when he came off the bench. I probably think Ten Hag goes with Sancho, and I expect it to be Tony Martial up front. So out of that lot, star man for United, it's Bruno Fernandes, with a little bit of an eye on Christian Eriksen. So if Bournemouth are going to sit back, you need a creative player that's going to be able to unlock that defence. And the most creative player, one of the most creative players in the league, and certainly our most creative player, is Bruno Fernandes. Time and time again this season, he breaks lines for passes for attackers to get onto. He's been vital in Marcus Rashford's return to goal scoring. He's created 108 chances this season in the Premier League, which is more than any other player. The quality of balls getting into the box, as Roy Keane was talking about the other day, he created 11 chances versus Brighton and West Ham, and none of them were taken. Imagine what his assist numbers can be if we actually had a striker. Ridiculous. As we said, Rashford could be out of it, but he has trained all week, so it depends on the severity of whatever it is that's wrong with him. There's plenty of options in attack, certainly not plenty in any level of form, but there are options. How do we beat them? You're going to have to be controlling in midfield. Bournemouth are a really good counter-attacking side, and they've proven that this season with the number of goals they've scored. 9 in the last 6, pretty good for a team that's in the bottom half of the table. United need to control the midfield to prevent Bournemouth from creating their chances. And I think the midfield that we've got, you're going to expect this United side to control the ball a little bit better than we have done recently. Casemiro, Bruno, Eriksen has got quality for days. Where it has been undone recently is it's been outworked. Brighton specifically outworked us, but I don't know if Bournemouth have got the legs in them to be able to outwork this United side. You've got to be solid at the back. As we know, Solanke can get in the mix. Billing, if you keep him quiet, it's doable to keep him quiet. There's not 30 a goal season in either of these. You can keep the paradigm quiet, but you're going to have to be solid. And Varane and Lindelof look solid, so I think you'd be okay with that. And then you got to take your chances. We had 27 shots against Wolves, and we scored 2. That's not clinical by anybody's metrics. So we got to do more than that. Obviously, Rashford's got 29 goals this season. Without him, we'd be absolutely screwed. Rest of the attack needs to stop being so wasteful and a little bit more clinical. Bruno's giving everybody service. People just need to start sticking it in the back of the net. And we'll be fine. Right, I'll see you after the game tomorrow. No, let's hope it's 3 points to the Reds. See you in a bit. Hey, thank you for watching the video. If you are new around these parts, then don't forget to subscribe. My channel is proudly supported by my community on Patreon. If you'd like to get a little bit of extra content, a Discord group, meetups, 5-a-side games, weekly podcasts, behind the scenes, and even an occasional bit of transfer news as and when I get it, then for the price of a pint, you can show your appreciation for the content that we make and get some goodies for doing so as well. Check the link in the description or click the button right here. You'll also find all of my socials here too if you want to follow me on any of those platforms. Nice one.